But today we're going to be talking about corn oil and how to set up your corn oil business, like I earlier said. Now, let's get started with a large scale processing procedure. The first step that goes on in a large scale processing procedure of corn oil is the kernel separation. So, the corn kernels are cleaned and processed to separate the germ, that is the part rich in oil, from the rest of the kernel, that is the endosperm and the bran. This could be done through dry milling or wet milling. Through dry milling, you have grinding and sifting, and through wet milling, you have soaking and separating. Also, after that, after the kernel separation, we have the germ drying. The extracted germ undergoes drying in kilns to remove moisture and to make oil extraction easier. Now, after this, we have the process of the oil extraction. Two main methods are used depending on the money available. So we could have the pressing process and we could also have the solvent extraction. So during the pressing process, mechanical presses squeeze the oil out of the dried gem. This method is simpler, but it yields less oil. Now, for solvent extraction, hexane or similar solvent dissolve the oil, then the solvent is evaporated, leaving pure oil behind. This method is more efficient but requires specialized equipment. Next, we go to oil refining. So after the oil is extracted, it needs to undergo some steps to make sure that the oil that we see in supermarkets are is actually what you're going to get. So the extracted oil goes through a series of refining steps to remove impurities, color, and unwanted odors. These may include the processes include degumming, neutralization. It also involves bleaching, winterization, deodorization. Now, after the oils undergo refinement, they are packaged and they're distributed. So the refined corn oil is cooled, filtered, and packaged into various containers like bottles, drums, or bulk tanks for further distribution and use. Some specialty producers offer unrefined expeller pressed corn oil with a more distinctive flavor and color. So the pressed corn oil that is not refined usually has a more distinctive flavor and color. Corn oil goes through different quality checks and safety testing before it reaches the consumers. Sustainable practices are increasingly becoming implemented in corn oil production, such as using recyclable solvents and energy efficient processes. Now, let's go about the homemade corn oil procedure. How can you make this in your home? The first thing you want to do, like you can see in the picture, is get your corn, then cut off all the corn kernels from the corn using a sharp serrated knife. A serrated knife will help to make the process easier. Next, you grind the corn. You can grind the corn using either an oil extractor, a grain press, or a food processor on a low setting. When you grind the corn, soak your ground corn in warm water and then leave it for 2 days. After 2 days, strain the liquid from the solid. Strain the corn solid from the liquid. Set the water aside again for 12 to 24 hours. After that, you separate the oil from the water. So what you will notice is after 12 to 24 hours, the oil would float to the surface of the water. So you skim the oil from the water surface either by using a gravy separator or just a simple ladle or spoon. Then your oil is ready for use and then for storage for up to 6